Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge and welcome to my July reading plans. Yes, we're already planning July. We're in the second half of June. I like to get these filmed early and get my decisions in place and then watch chaos change everything. So I'm going to try to go through these reading plans pretty quickly because I did turn my air conditioning off to film and it will warm up very quickly, but yeah. Also, I'm repping my Broken Vow sweater right now. The back of this says, "Take me to the barn." So it's amazing. And funny little side note. I had ordered this in this one only went up to like an extra large, I think. And at the time when I bought it, it was very tight around my stomach, but I loved this shirt so much. Well, with some of my like diet changes lately, I've lost quite a bit and I was like, I want to see if that fits. And I put it on and it fit today. And I just feel like wrapped in a warm Raylan hug and I'm very happy about it. So anyway, side note, let's go ahead and dive into my July reading plans. So as usual, I've made my plans very broad, very big. And this time what I even did is because I added a lot of books that are my owned TBR, which is kind of different from last month, where in June I put a lot of books that I had like the audiobooks for, or they were ebooks. This month I mostly focused on owned books. Not that I will ever catch up to my owned library, but I don't know. I just want to try my best. I have a lot of books in this that are gifts. And then, yeah, that's a big part of the main goal is I want to be reading gifts that you guys have given me. You know, maybe not even focusing so much on ones on my TBR that like I want to get to, but ones that are gifts from people. So anyway, as we do, we're going to start with the books that are part of book clubs and the read along. And that means first off, we have the Rake Appreciation Society choice for July. As always, I'll scoot over a little bit so I'll be able to put pictures here. This will be on July 21st on Crystal's Bookish Life at 7 p.m. And we will be taking a crack at Stephanie Lawrence. We decided to pick the series of hers that neither of us has read. And by that, I mean me, because I've read the first like 5 books in the Sinster series, but neither of us have read the Bastion Club. And so this is book 1, The Lady Chosen. So there's this beautiful copy of this. And there's the step back. And this is the blurb for this one real quick. It says, Tristan Wemyss, Earl of Trentham, never expected he'd need to wed within a year or forfeit his inheritance, but he is not one to bow to the matchmaking mamas of the ton. No, he will marry a lady of his own choosing. And the lady he chooses is the enchanting neighbor living with her family next door, Miss Lenora Carling. Has beauty, spirit, and passion. Unfortunately, matrimony is the last thing on her mind. To Lenora, Tristan's kisses are oh so tempting, but once bitten, forever shy. She has determinedly turned her back on marriage. But Tristan is a seasoned campaigner who will not accept defeat. And when a mysterious man attempts to scare Lenora and her family from their home, Tristan realizes he's been given the perfect excuse to offer his services as protector, seducer, and ultimately husband. You know, guys, it is very rare that I don't love a book where the hero's name is Tristan, and I didn't even know that beforehand because we just picked a Stephanie Lawrence because I literally own 40 of them and we wanted to read one. And the hero's name is Tristan, so I'm excited. Let's go. Very excited. Then, as we do, we are making our way along in the SJM along. This has been going now since April, and July is going to be the month that a lot of people have been waiting for, and we get to reread or read for the first time A Court of Mist and Fury. And this is my beautiful cover here. The back has this gold foiling on it. Absolutely love it. I actually have a 3rd set of covers coming from Dusty Bookshop. But yeah, this is book 2 in the Akhtar series, and it's going to be like the 7th book we're reading. I'm so excited. A lot of people jumped right into this one, of course, because we are doing a chronological read of the books to try to see how SJM's mythology and stuff fits overall. But some people aren't choosing to read it that way. That is absolutely a-okay, however they choose to. But very excited to read this one, which is a lot of people's favorites for good reason. All right, then we have my ARCs and new releases for July. So there's been a bit of a change up in this. I'd already written this when I heard that a date has changed for one of these books. And I'll just tell you right now, Anastasia has been pushed by Sophie. She made that decision. It hasn't been done yet, but everyone who pre-ordered is going to be refunded. And she doesn't have a future date for that. She is not going to rush herself with her first fantasy romance, because this is going to be a standalone, but it's going to set up a vampire trilogy that she's going to do. So this is a magical Anastasia reimagined type thing. It's going to be kind of historical because it is going to be set during the time that Anastasia actually lived, but she's going to get an HEA instead, right? It's going to be great. But this was set to come out mid-July, and she actually announced it. Well, I mean, like, she said it for the first time that I've heard it on Peace Love Books channel. She had an interview with her on last Thursday, and she said it's going to get pushed. And I think that is a perfect idea. Like, I want her to take her time. I've heard bits and pieces of what's happening with that. I'm very excited about it, but there is going to be a lot of pressure for that book, and there's also going to be the possibility of a lot of new readers coming to her for the first time when she's taking on a fantasy. So anyway, that's a book that won't be on my TBR, but it will be. As soon as we get a new release date for it, it will be on my TBR for sure. So the books that I am pretty sure are going to be coming out, that I either have arcs for, plan to have arcs for, or I will just be reading them whether I get an arc or not, are as follows. I have an arc for Nobody's Princess by Erica Ridley. This cover looks beautiful. I don't even have the blurb in front of me. This is one I asked for from NetGalley, and I received it. Very excited to give it a go. I didn't love the first book in her series, and I think this one's in the same series too. I didn't love the Duke heist. I haven't read The Perks of Loving a Wallflower, but I'm excited to read this one and give it a go. Then there will be Zephyr by Amara Ray. This will be book 4 in the Immortal Coven series, cover to be released. I'm very positive that I will get an arc for this book, so very excited. Tease by Melanie Harlow will be coming out in July. Very excited for that one. I keep saying I'm very excited. Y'all know, you know. Her Beast by SM La Violette. So there was a surprise that Chantel is going to be writing more books in the Victorian Decadence series, which originally had 3. These are pretty hardcore-ish BDSM Victorian set books, and I had very mixed feelings about these books, but they were the first books I read by this author, who is also Minerva Spencer, by the way. SM La Violette is actually her real name. Chantel La Violette is her real name. But I just want to keep reading. So I don't really know a ton about this one, but it's supposed to come in July, and I'm going to read it because the first 3 were fascinating to me, how they worked. It was great. Princess by Claire Kent. So this one was also a surprise because I've shared before the way that I make these reading plans, especially the way that I know about upcoming books, is that on Goodreads, I follow any author that I like their books. I follow them. And what that does mostly is that then when you go through the book recommendations under upcoming books, you can look at new releases, and it will pull up new releases for the next 5 months of authors that you follow or things like that. Now, Claire Kent hasn't put out a book under this pen name in a while. She's also Noelle Adams, I think. But she's the one who put out Last Light, which was a post-apocalyptic book that reminded me of Beth and Daryl. And then there was another book called Haven that connected loosely with Last Light. We see the characters from Last Light pop up in Haven. They just kind of pop up. And Princess, as well as 2 other books, are supposed to come out through this year. And I think they're each going to be a different post-apocalyptic situation, which is a little bit like her Prison Planet books. I really liked those. So Anyway, this series is called the Kindled series. And yeah, there's 3 more books that got announced, and Princess is supposed to come in July. Since I only just found out about this, I haven't been able to get on an ARC team for this, but it's set to come out in July. So I pre-ordered it and I'm ready to roll. Then Dreams of the Deadly by Adelaide Forrest. This is the first in a spin-off duet. It will spin off from, I believe it spins off from this series, from what I could tell. All of her Mafia books are loosely connected, so I'm sure it's a spin-off from the other ones too. But this one's going to be a duet about a certain couple, and I signed up for the arcs of these ones. So there's Dreams of the Deadly will come in July, and then the other one will come in like October, I think. So excited for that. And then Bright Like Wildfire by Juliet Cross will be coming in July. I should actually be getting the arc for that pretty soon because she's almost done with that. So those are the books that I'm expecting to get. All right, now we have the books that I am reading for patrons. And I have a bit of an announcement for this too. So the group book that it looks to be picked. So granted, there actually are another 12 hours in the poll, but I really wanted to get this video filmed because I need to pre-film some things for my secret trip next week. And this one is the one that's winning currently. If I'm wrong about it, who cares? Like, we'll change it up. But this time around for the patrons, I allowed them to like give suggestions that were retelling. I've decided now that each month I'm going to give like a different trope or a different prompt for people to recommend me books that fit under that. And then I take 6 of those recommendations and they're allowed to vote on those. So like I use a spinner wheel to pick 6. Or if there's ones that I've already like read, I won't include those because this is supposed to be an exclusive review for my patrons, not one that I've like read it before and already talked about it. So the book that looks like it's winning as of now is A Rune of Roses by K.F. Breen. I had given the prompt of retelling, and so I had like 10 different ones that were put in, and this is the one that's winning. And this one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I know a lot of people have read this book. So yeah, it says that I could save him, but he would ruin me. The beast, the creature who stalks the forbidden wood, the dragon prince. He has suffered a fate worse than death. We all have. A curse put upon us by the mad king. We are a kingdom locked in time, shifters unable to feel our animals, stuck here by a deal between the late king and a demon who seeks our destruction. The only thing keeping this kingdom alive is Nephain, the golden prince to a stolen throne, the last dragon shifter. He's our hope. He's my nightmare. When he catches me trespassing in the forbidden wood, he doesn't punish me with death, as he's entitled. He takes me instead, forces me back to the castle as his prisoner, and seeks to use me. Apparently I can save him. I can save the whole forgotten kingdom, locked away by the demon king's power. But it would mean taming the monster beneath his skin. It would mean giving myself to him. It would mean my ruin. So that looks like that will be the pick. And then one of my patrons picked Slave to Sensation by Nailani Singh. So I'm very excited to reread this. I haven't read this in a couple years, so that'll be great. I actually happen to have 2 copies of this one, so I was excited about it. Then Always Practice Safe Hex. So that is a book that I absolutely loved, and so I've ordered a copy of that one to be annotated, as well as Give Me More by Sarah Kate. Someone wants that one. Now I have a teeny tiny like announcement where I know I've been saying I was going to do this, and I will, but one of my patrons is going to be stepping down a tier. They let me know that they aren't going to be renewed for July, so there will be an open slot whenever she moves. And then on July 1st, I will open up 2 more slots. So now there will be 5 slots available for US at the tier of Faithful to the End. I'm apologize, but I won't be opening any more international ones. I only have 1 slot. That one is firmly taken for now. But shipping to overseas costs a huge chunk of the amount, which I know y'all know, and I apologize. But in the case of like my overhead to try to keep things reasonable, I'm only going to have 1 of those tiers for now. So the patron who hopped on it first, she's keeping that one locked down, but if she ever chooses to step down, I will definitely let y'all know. But anyway, keep an eye out for that. I will make an announcement probably in my Patreon first. So if the annotated tier is something you're interested in, I highly recommend that you go to my Patreon and start following me. You don't have to be a subscribe, like a paying patron to like subscribe to my feed, but I am going to be giving my patrons a heads up when I change the slots. So highly recommend. There's always a link to my Patreon down below. All right, moving on. Like I said, I have a bunch of books on my own TBR, so I probably won't read the backs of all of these ones like I did for a couple of those, just because I have a lot to get through. But these are the books that either they are, well, I'll tell you if they were a viewer rec, or if they were a gift, or if it's just because. So let's go ahead and go through these. So I have Scandalous Deception by Rosemary Rogers. This is just a book that I've picked up. Rosemary Rogers is on my list in my planner of authors that I want to try to read this year. I have a lot of her step backs. This happens to be one of the ones that like doesn't have a step back because it's a hardcover, but I really like kind of the setup of this one. It has to do with a girl who's like on the escape from her stepfather, and she seeks refuge with her friend, the Duke, but it ends up being his hot-blooded twin, who's masquerading as the Duke for reasons. So I like the idea of, you gotta love twins, you know, gotta love it. Then there is All Through the Night by Connie Brockway. This one is a viewer recommendation. I ended up with a hardcover copy from Thrift Books, which isn't the worst thing, but this cover is kind of interesting, right? This one is a Regency, and it's a widowed lady who becomes a thief at night. And she hops over rooftops. So I really like the idea of that one. There is Her Prodigal Passion by Grace Calloway. This is book 3 in the Mayhems and Mayfair. This is just one that I own. All the audiobooks for these are on AnyPlay, and I own all 4 books in this series, and so I want to make my way through it. I'm really enjoying Grace Calloway. Her books are very steamy and wonderful. Same with Stacey Reed. I love her books, both indie published and contemporary and traditionally published. And so the next book in the Wedded by Scandal series is Wicked in His Arms. So this one, I believe the audiobooks are on AnyPlay as well. So I want to get to that. Beauty and the Baller by Ilsa Madden Mills. This one is one I was just given as a gift. It's actually like signed too. The second book in this series is supposed to be coming soon. This one is a football player, an NFL quarterback, and a beauty queen. So that's kind of cool. Love that. Then I have Intoxication by Charlene Namdari, and this was a gift from Cheyenne at the Tall Book Girl. This one I believe is a fiance's dad, I think. She said it's a pretty, let's see what her note said. She said, "This is a favorite taboo of mine. I'm sure you'll love it as much as I do." So I definitely want to give this a go. But yeah, it just says on the back, my past, he was my lover. My present, he's my future father-in-law. My future, who do I choose? Promises are not meant to be broken, or are they? So little nervous about this one because I don't love the idea, but Cheyenne, she danced around it a little bit for me, but I think I'm still going to give this a try, because she was telling me some good things about this one. So we're going to give it a go. Then I have Bad Habits by Charlene Rose. This one was a gift from one of my viewers when she was cleaning out, I think it's Ashley who sent it, when she was cleaning out her book shelves. She sent me this trilogy by Charlie Rose, and I've read one book by Charlie Rose before. It was A Student Teacher, and this one I saw a friend on TikTok who's reading the series. Sorry, my brain just like blanked out. And I was like, wait, I have this series. So I'm going to give this one a try. I think this is a new adult romance, and it's a brother's best friend. And yeah, my best friend's baby sister. So I'm going to give this one a try. Everyone has their vice, and she happens to be mine. There we go. Then I have a few gifts again here. So this one was from Lisa Brown, and this one is Everything Changes by Jennifer Ashley. I've been wanting to try her contemporary books. So I had this one on my wish list, and Lisa sent this to me. So this is a quickie. I want to give this a try and see what I think of her contemporaries. Then this one was also from Lisa, and this is the first book in the Just for Him. It's a black woman, white man. Is that what that means? Why does it say that? What does that mean? Either way, it's Talia Hibbert, and it says Bad for the Boss. This is book 1 in the Just for Him series, and I've been given all 3 of these books as gifts because they're on my wish list, but by different people, which I love. So yeah, this one is by Lisa Brown. And then funny enough, this one is technically in this series as well, but they're all individually standalones. And this one is a gay romance, and this one was sent to me by Paula, and yeah, this one is work for it. So I might actually slip this one in at the end of June if I end up doing it, since it's Pride Month, so I might. But I loved this cover, and this one was sent to me as a gift too, so can't wait to read that one. And then this one was a viewer recommendation from my rec list, and this one is A Momentary Marriage by Candace Camp. I actually already read the first one in the series, which was, what was it called? A Perfect Gentleman. So yeah, this is the next one, and this one was also in my book rec list. So very excited to read this one, and it's A Marriage of Convenience, which I love. So there's that. So those are all the physical books that I want to try to get to. Then I have 5 books that are ebooks or audiobooks that I want to try to get to. But these ones are on my extended TBR. So when I made my thing, sorry, you can see there's a line, these are the priority owned books, and then I have an extended TBR, just in case. But the first one that is a viewer recommendation is Master of the Mountain by Charisse Sinclair. This one is highly recommended. All of Charisse's books are highly recommended to me, by the way. There is Heart's Ease by Susan Finetti. This is a ebook that I just want to get to. This is a Viking romance. I read the first one a few months ago now, and I really enjoyed it. There aren't many Viking historicals that I really love, and this cover, not the coolest cover I've seen, but I really love the first book, and I'm excited who this one is about, so I'm gonna keep going. Notice by Kay Webster. This is supposed to be like a stalker romance, and this was a viewer recommendation. Professor Daddy by B.B. Hamill. This is just one that I got for free, and it's on my Kindle. And then Redemption by Kenya Wright. And now this one's an audiobook, and I got it in the 2-for-1 sale. I gotta tell you, I really like the cover of this book. That's kind of my only reason. And it was part of the 2-for-1 sale. So there you go. Those are all the books that I want to attempt to read in July 2022. Again, make sure you sign up or follow my Patron if you want to get more behind the scenes, or you're interested in seeing if you want to sign up for it. I am doing YouTube full time, and so your support is very helpful, especially when months when YouTube is not. The last couple weeks, YouTube, I don't know what's up. They have not been suggesting my videos as much, and I don't know if it's because it's summer and people are interested in something different, but it's been tough. So please give this a thumbs up if you made it to the end. Give me a little sunshine emoji to make me smile. And yeah, I will see you next time, guys. Bye.